Hello and welcome to my 10-minute Tuesday. So today we are going to be using the Artfully Layered Stamp Set. It does come as a bundle, and this is actually the bundle that we are using for my April monthly club. So I will make sure I put all the info and everything down below about monthly club if you're interested in it. It's $36 a month. We make five excuse me, 5 projects, 2 of each. We have a private Facebook page. Every month prior to, I put like 4 to 6 bundles out there that they get to vote on to pick what the next month is going to be. So I don't pick for them. They all vote on it. So anyway, I wanted to do a quick 10-minute card. At least I've been trying to do 10 minutes, but so far I haven't done a 10-minute card yet. But I'm thinking this one might be a 10-minute card. Now, I know how you could make it a 10-minute card and stamp in just one color, but I'm going to show you how to stamp using the Stamparatus. And I'm going to bring it in a little closer here for you. The Stamparatus we stamp the leaves with, or the leaf, one leaf with, but I use sponge daubers, and I have 4 different colors out here that I'm going to use. You don't necessarily have to use that many. And then we're just going to do some splattering with the Evening Evergreen Stampin' Blends marker. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I keep this at a 10-minute card. At some point, I'm going to succeed on this goal. My problem is I like to talk too much, or I do talk too much. Okay, so what we have is 5.5 by 8.5 card base, scored in half at 4 1/4. I'm going to set that aside over here, and then we have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of shimmery white. Let me just double check, because quite often my shimmery white is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. Nope, 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to lay this down on top of and my piece of paper is pretty dirty here. I should probably bring in a new one. I usually come down 1 inch and over 1 inch, just where I start. There is, everybody does it different. So it's whatever works for you when it comes to this part. And I've only got 1 magnet here, and I think that's probably all I'll need for it. So I'm not going to worry too much about putting another magnet down. But you certainly could. My other magnet's underneath. And I'm just going to lay this leaf kind of on just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. And I am going to go ahead and just grab my other magnet from here. And I'm going to put it over here in this corner. And I'm going to still make sure I'm okay. I'll scoot it up just a little bit. That way I'll have no movement. Now, I am using, what we're going to use is sponge daubers. And I have Soft Succulent, Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, and Evening Evergreen lined up here. I know you can't see the inks, and I don't have room really for you to see the inks in my camera view here with the Stamparatus out. Plus, right now, my desk, whoops, picked up foreign object there. My desk is really messy right now. I really need to clean it. But I've been working on all the cards for this class, so I have everything laid out. That's why I decided to go ahead and do a 10-minute card with everything I had out. Now, what you're going to do, let me make sure I'm in camera here. I'm going to slide this over. Keep this right here so you can kind of see what's going on here. I am going to just take a sponge dauber, and I'm going to start with Soft Succulent. There's no right or wrong as to what color you should start with, but I always start with the lightest color. And when you do the darkest color like Evening Evergreen, you do want to be careful because you don't want too much or that will overpower it. So the Evening Evergreen we're going to go really light on. So what I'm doing here, just so you can see what I do the first time, is dabbing my sponge dauber. And I'm just going to go randomly in a few places here. And then I'm going to flip it. Add some pressure. And you can see us forming our leaf. Now I'm going to go to Old Olive. And you can kind of see like where I need ink for sure, but you can tell by looking at the stamp over here. I know you can't tell in the video, but if you were looking at it, you could see where you had added ink and where you hadn't. And I'm not like doing any specific pattern. I'm just kind of dabbing it on. There's our second one. See, it's starting to get a little bit darker. Now we're going to add some Granny Apple Green. And real quick, I see that that sponge dauber had seen better days, so I'm going to get a different one. I got a new one here even. Sponge that up, and let's see. So I know I need to add some inks along there. And you could easily make a whole bunch of these at once. And every one of them is going to turn out just a little bit different. Now, I'm going to go back and add some more of that Granny Apple Green because I really like the Granny Apple Green. I think it is just a nice addition of greens. Now, if my pre-order had come, I would have had some new colors to work with, but it's not here yet. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So there's a good start. So now I'm going to go, before I do anything dark, I'm going to add a few more. So I see like right here, remember it's always the opposite. So you have to kind of remember where you need to stamp. Like see, that filled that in really nice. And then I'm going to go right down here with a little bit. And it's looking really good. I like it. So I'm going to go back and add just a little bit more of soft succulent, just in some random places. Ooh, that really darkened that up right there. I really had pushed harder, so let's kind of balance that out a little bit. There we go. And I think what I'm going to do, because I don't like how that looks there, so I'm going to do just a little bit of another color to kind of blend it in, because I really went dark there. I can't get rid of it now, but that's okay. Now, here's where I'm going to bring in my evening evergreen, and I am going to be careful about how much I like dab on over here, dab on. And I'm not doing it really dark. I'm kind of going really light because I want to see how it's going to look here. And that just added some nice texture color to it to add that little bit of darkness into it. And I kind of like it just like that. I'm going to do a little bit more maybe right in here. That looks good. I like that. And that's it. That's all there is to this. I mean, it's like I said, it literally should be a 10-minute card. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just keep this on here because I'm going to take this stamp, and I could put this right here on the Stamparatus at the same time, but I already have it on this block. I'm going to stamp it in Evening Evergreen. So I'm just going to bring this in. Pardon me if you see the top of my head. And I'm going to come like right over here. Happiest birthday wishes. And then we're going to do a little bit of flicking with the, move this one out of the way. It's been flicked. Just to add that little bit of splatter on the background. And I'm using a Stampin' Blends. You could use the Stampin' Right markers. You could use, you can use Wink Stella. You could use a water painter and just get the tip wet. There's all kinds of options of ways to do this, but all you do is with the brush tip, and it doesn't hurt the marker. I mean, maybe if you were doing it hundreds and hundreds of times, you might eventually damage it, but I've done it quite a few times with a lot of my markers, and I've never had any problems yet. All you're going to do is flick just like that, and it's a great way to add a little bit of splatter to your background and add some texture to it without really doing much. And that's it. So I'm going to pick this up, move it out of the way here. And then we're going to just attach this, and then we're going to add some bling to it. I'm using the Stamp and Seal Plus. I really like how this one rolls out. And now the thing about this one is you can't huff it off very easily. So if once you put it on, you're pretty much stuck if you've really pushed it down. There's that. And I'm going to bring in some of the Evening Evergreen if I have some open. If not, I'll use the Soft Succulent because I have a whole package here, but I don't think I've opened. Oh, I have opened it, so I guess it doesn't matter. I just have so many of some of the colors left that I'll be having to do some giveaways with some of these colors. The Polished Pink. So which one it is? Polished Pink. I haven't used a whole lot of that one, but like the greens have been gone. I've used the greens several times. So let's add us some bling here. I love bling. I think it's an easy way to add just a little something to the background of the card. Slide that back out of the way. And that's it. Now, the one thing we can do, if you want to, is take this. I'm going to bring my Stamparatus back in just real quick. And I'm going to do something here that I should have done before I moved it. But here's our inside piece. I'm just going to lay this down here. And I'm going to grab a block. I was going to use, I was going to use the Stamparatus, but it's in the wrong position, so I decided not to do that. But all I'm going to do is take a lighter color. No, I'm just going to ink up some of this. So I'm going to add some Granny Apple Green right here, because I'm just going to do like the corner of it, and I'll show you. So I'm just adding some Granny Apple Green, a little bit of Old Olive, and maybe some Soft Succulent. And I'm going to huff on this to really moisten it up good because I'm not going to be able to stamp over it again. And I'm just going to stamp like right here in the corner. And that's all I did. And that turned out perfect. It's what I wanted it to do. Take it back out of this. And then this is going to be our inside piece. And this is just a piece of basic white at 4 by 5 1/4. And then you can write or stamp any phrase you want in here, and you've got a beautiful little card. Now you could stamp the envelope the same way, but see how quick that was just to add a little bit of ink to that and stamp it. And there we go. Here's the one we just did, and here's the one I did originally. I like them both. I think they're both awesome cards, but this is a quick way to make a card, and you could use so many different color combinations doing this. So anyway, that was my 10-minute Tuesday. I think maybe today I might have got in on 10 minutes, but it could be a little over. I'll tell you in just a few minutes. But look forward to seeing you next week. And let me know if you have any questions about this. And like I said, I will post the links for the monthly club. It's an awesome club to join, and I'd love to see you in it. Talk to you all later. Bye.